What's indeed going on, Jerome? It's a beautiful Tuesday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. Ooh, the first dump of the new year. It's fantastic. Now, with the Vikings sort of falling flat on their ass, losing 5 out of the last 6 games, and also getting their ass kicked at home in a must-win situation against their heated rival. We've actually gotten a lot of flack because, of course, people love poo-pooing on the positive guy. Don't know why that's going on, but the whole thing is like we're not like Xanax, everything is sunshine and rainbows, sort of positive. Like on this channel, we like to call a spade, and when the Vikings are playing like ass, thank you, we call that out. When Kevin O'Connell messing up game situations as well as put Jaron Hall in no-win situation, we call that out. And when it was time to move on from Zimmer and also our guy Spielman, we called that out. So I feel like we don't get enough credit because it's really easy to be negative and jaded about things. It's like, the formula for sports coverage going back time immemorial, except I feel like people see through the BS and constantly being negative isn't the way to go. And do we think that everything is sunshine and rainbows? The Vikings going to win the Super Bowl every single year? Maybe not this year, but next year. But no, it's more focusing on what a player and what a team can do versus what they can't. Because, again, it's very cheap and low-hanging fruit to be negative and snarky about everything, saying that you're realistic about things. But ain't the truth, man. But, yeah, the Vikings, last couple games, it's been a little bit rough. A little bit rough. But, diving on in. So, first off, a lot of Vikings fans freaked out as the Vikings were getting their asses kicked by the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. Kwesi, looking good, ready for New Year's Eve. I love the blazer. It's looking like a mock turtleneck. It's looking good, man. Smiling, having a laugh up in the GM box. But, it's a spot where what's he supposed to do? Just like, I am so angry. I'm going to go over these scouting reports and gin up a better 2022 draft class. Is that what he's supposed to do? And that's the thing about, I feel like that's the thing about going to these games too, is like, I enjoy going to games, but with technology and cameras and social media nowadays, like I'm just waiting to go viral because, like the suggestive way that I eat a burrito or a hot dog, can't have it, can't have it, man. But Kwesi getting caught on the spot, it doesn't mean that he doesn't care. Absolutely not, man. Of course he cares because it's his ass on the line. So who knows? But again, the most frustrating thing about this one was the Vikings. Yes, they have injuries. Yes, they have blah, 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 blah. Other teams have injuries too. And you're at home, national televised game. Your season is on the line. You just got back your destiny in your own hands with the Seahawks loss and against a Packers team that struggled against the Panthers the week before. And then the Panthers scored 0 against the Jaguars. And you just get your asses kicked. And you look like you don't care throughout most of the game. It's just ridiculous. And, Aaron Jones and Jordan Love spraying champagne on the Vikings field. You let that happen. So you get mad and you can piss them out all you want, but you let that happen. So hopefully that sinks in, and hopefully that's a revenge narrative going forward to next year. Also, so this is interesting. Al Calusi Athletic pointed this out. Win or lose, Vikings owners always show up post-game. They didn't Sunday night. At a bare minimum, the abnormality pairs poetically with a performance that must spur hard questions. Now, it could be something, it could be nothing. It could be, the Wilfs had New Year's plans and they're hosting friends and family from out of town. Who knows? But he is right because you watch the post-game videos, especially in the locker rooms, like win or lose, the Wilfs are in there. They're shaking hands. They're giving congratulations. They're talking to the players, talking to coaches, talking to Kwesi. And even going back to, they were in the locker room after 38-7. So, in a home Super Bowl, just like a 4-foot pup flat lie away, and then you get your doors blown off. The Wilfs were there. 40-3 against the Cowboys last year. The Wilfs were there. But this one, where you just get embarrassed on national TV with everyone at home watching and against your hated rival in a spot where you still control your playoff destiny, you can see the embarrassment. Now, don't want to read anything into it because I don't think that the Wilfs aren't like knee-jerk owners. They're not David Tepper. They're not Jimmy Haslam. They're not Daniel Snyder. And I think that There's certainly questions about Kevin O'Connell, his development to quarterbacks. Did Kirk Cousins make Kevin O'Connell, as well as his game management in a lot of the close games that we've gone over ad nauseum. Basically giving away against the Broncos. He tried to give it away second half against the Saints, by the way. The inertness against the Bears, scored 3 points against the Raiders, and then the Bengals and Lions, which is whatever, and then just embarrassed against the Packers. So there's some questions there. Also, Kwesi and his talent acquisition. He's had some hits. You look at Addison, you look at Hawkinson. He's had a lot of misses. Right, so head into year 3. I don't think that there's going to be a change this offseason, but both of them should be on the warm seat. And I do think that they are a package deal. Something where Kwesi actually did hit, even though fans will say, well, Peso is undrafted, so blah, blah. That's even harder than making him a 7th-round pick, because you have to cajole a free agent. You have to outbid. You have to maneuver. You have to do all that stuff. I mean, it's just like landing a normal free agent. But Ivan Pace Jr., this is from Vikes fan page, continued his stellar play last night. He's basically the only one on defense playing, with 12 total tackles, leading the team, and a quarterback hit. He is 7 tackles away from being the first undrafted rookie to surpass 100 total tackles since Paul Warrilow in 2013. So love what Pace is doing, and he's going to be the man in the middle. If Flores stays, if he goes, it's whatever. But I do think that Pace Jr., and we're just scratching the surface of what he can do. Like, I don't think that he's been utilized enough as a pass rusher, which is one of the big things that he does well. But he's a leader. He lines up the defense and wears the green dot. I think that he'll be a team captain next year, and I think that the Vikings land themselves a fantastic player in Ivan Pace Jr. And again, it's a good thing that the Vikings lost a couple of games to move up in the draft to take Pace Jr. Again, it's not so much where you draft, especially in the first round, but can you continue to acquire talent in non-traditional ways, hitting on day 2 picks, hitting on day 3 picks, signing up great value free agents, hitting a couple home runs in UDFAs, making some good trades. That's the name of the game, man. Also, so with Michigan moving on in the college football playoff, potentially winning a national championship. Now, they should have blown the brakes off of Alabama even more, considering that Michigan knew all the plays. But it's so weird to see Alabama not have the advantage in the trenches. It's crazy, man. So, hey, Michigan nose tackle Chris Jenkins Jr., come on in. You're a Minnesota Viking. Woo, woo. That's right, man. But remembering that, basically it came down to Kevin O'Connell and Harbaugh, because you remember that Harbaugh left Ann Arbor on a private jet, pretty clear thinking that it was a coronation as opposed to an interview. He gets to TCO, and it's an actual interview with Kwesi, who he had crossover with in San Francisco. Kwesi's working in the R&D department, and Harbaugh flew in thinking that it was a fait accompli. He was going to be the next head coach of the Vikings, but they went with Kevin O'Connell. But now, I mean, I feel like some Vikings fans are like, hey, we can have a mulligan. Probably not, but I think 100% Harbaugh is done with Michigan. Win, lose, or draw. I think that he is probably going to be the Raiders coach, maybe the Chargers. Chargers would make more sense since you already have Herbert in place, but we'll see what happens. But that was a wild time. That was a wild week where Kevin O'Connell was the front runner, and then Harbaugh just came in and was like, what up? Hey, man, it's so crazy. Something that's also crazy is big Penix Energy. So Michael Penix Jr., so he kind of had his national debut on Monday night. Although watching the game right now, Washington's on offense with 4:30 left in the third quarter, up 31-21 over Texas. Is Texas back? Probably not, but I feel like people are just starting to notice Penix, and he's got a fantastic arm, and he's accurate. He's a great leader. You could make a good case that he should have won the Heisman over Jaden Daniels, even though not saying that Jaden isn't worthy. But Penix, I mean, he already looks good in purple at UW, but I feel like he's finally getting that attention and having that big Penix energy. And there's a couple of pros with him going to the Vikings. Again, this is one of the deepest quarterback classes in NFL history, but elite accuracy, strong arm, 3-level passer. And I was trying to think of a comp for just his quick release, and I can't think of someone modern, but it's a little bit Dan Marino-ish, where it's a little bit, it's a little bit slightly 3-quarter, but it is so damn quick, and the ball just springs out of his hand. It's It's great, man. Also, he throws receivers open versus throwing to open receivers. That's a big question mark for quarterbacks going from college to the pros. Does have that killer instinct. Washington's been in some tight-ass games, and Penix has led them to glory. He's good in the clutch. Also, this could all be moot because as you're watching this, like, you're going to know the result of Washington, Texas, even though Washington's up 10 points right now. So we'll see. Also, has got those leadership intangibles. Should be available when the Vikings select in the first round, whether they move up to 9, whether they're in the early teens, whatever. Also, already looks good in purple. Come on, man. That's right. Cons, he's 24. So it did come in from Indiana. He had a bunch of knee issues, tore both ACLs, had 4 separate season-ending injuries, and it was tough. And also, I mean, they'll give him the Jaron Hall treatment. So if he isn't an all-pro right out of the gates, they're going to call him a bust after one half of football. Boo, boo. And as of right now, here's the draft order. The Vikings are chilling at 12. Now they can move all the way up to 9 if they lose the Lions, and then the Falcons, the Bears, and the Raiders, oh my, they all win. They won't win the tiebreaker with the Jets because of strength of schedule. The Jets will have a worse one, and that's the tiebreaker with the draft. Head-to-head doesn't matter, but it comes down to record, and then the first tiebreaker is strength of schedule. And if you have a worse strength of schedule but the same record, ergo, you had a worse record against worse opponents. That gives you the edge in the draft order. So the Vikings right now are 12. Who knows what's going to happen? If they win and maybe a couple other teams lose, maybe the vacillates, maybe they go all the way up to 16. Maybe they hit that. Or actually, I think the highest they can go is 14 or 15. But don't quote me on that. But the whole thing about it is like maybe the Vikings will hit that 3% miracle and they'll make the playoffs. It's going to make people so mad. But like we said, this is a deep quarterback class, and beyond Drake May, beyond Caleb Williams, beyond Jaden Daniels, who I love a lot. I mean, there's Penix, there's Bo Nix, who look great. There's J.J. McCarthy, Dynamite, who look great in the Michigan game. Quinn Ewers still hasn't decided if he's going to declare or not. Cam Ward from Washington State is super interesting. Pratt from Tulane, I mean, I think that there could be 10 quarterbacks taken in the top 100 picks. I truly believe that, but we'll see what happens. But I don't know, man. Like, the playoff is really interesting. I wonder if it would have worked out. I guess we'll never know. Or maybe we'll find out this offseason. Who knows? But your thoughts on our thoughts. Let us know in the comment section below. Beautiful Tuesday. Let's subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.